Hey guys, Bloon here with another BTD 6 video, and today we're going to be doing Peninsula CHIMPS. But before we get to that, I just signed in to make this video and my race results were posted. And as you can see, I got a terrible 3,730th place and we still got all these goodies. So definitely guys, I tell you guys over and over, but make sure you do the races in the Odyssey each week to get those trophies, the money and the instas without spending too much time. So I'm really excited about this strategy because it's actually very easy. We are going to have to use a couple abilities, but nothing too crazy. So I know you guys are going to have no problems following along getting that black border. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place our Sada, and it has to be kind of good spot or kind of perfect, but it's actually very easy to follow. So as you can see, there's this spot and this spot. We went right in the middle right there, and there's a cool little reference point too. So we're going to go right to where she hits the available area just like that. And then as you can see right here, her little bubble hits right where the bin comes together just like that. And sometimes I put it a little bit up a little more and it's no big deal. You'll know right off the first two rounds if you placed it right or not, because what'll happen if you didn't is she'll pop a green down to a red and the red will slip away. But like I just said, I kind of place it a little bit more up, but a little bit more left sometimes. So there is some room there for wiggle. And worst case scenario, you die in the first couple rounds, you restart, not a big deal. Now during round 8, we're going to get $380. And as soon as we do, we're going to place a sniper right here. The reason I'm telling you beforehand is because every once in a while, like 1 out of 20 times, a red balloon will slip away down the way, and then you have to place your sniper, but you don't have to do it fast. It'll be like right about there by the time you place your sniper. And of course, he's going to hit that one first, so there's nothing to worry about. And this sniper's on first, and we're going to leave him there the entire game. And now with another $380, we're going to place another sniper right next to him, and this one is going to be on strong. And now just these 3 towers are going to carry until we have enough to remove this seaweed and place a spike factory. So with some money saved up, I'm going to remove the seaweed for 500, and then we're going to save up 1080 to place our spike factory. It doesn't have to be like crazy place or anything. We're just going to go to the far left as we can, but nothing too crazy. And so the reason why is because I was going to do this to where you have 3 towers on here, a village, an alchemist, and the spike factory. But then I wouldn't feel right putting easy chimps on the thumbnail because it was actually kind of difficult to place it. Not so much difficult, but if you don't do it exactly right, you're not going to know till like round 30 that you messed up. So what we're going to do is we're not going to use the village for those jungle drums. We're just going to use the alchemist, and it's going to do just fine for us. We'll just make a little bit of adjustments later on to counter for not having that extra like speed for placing these little guys. But if you guys didn't notice, I did buy the bottom 2 upgrades, and now we're going to save up for long ring or long life spikes for 1510. Here we go with those long life spikes on round 25. And as you can see, I just placed it to the far left, and all we're going to do, like I was saying, is place an alchemist, but we have so much room here to place a ton of things if we want to. I think we could place like an ice and an alchemist. So if you really wanted to, you could place an ice and put the village on the water, but we don't want to do any crazy placements. That just makes it more difficult, more time consuming, and we're trying to get through this as relatively fast and easy as possible. Now it's not going to be the fastest strategy, I'm going to tell you that right now, because let me actually think here. We're on round 27. I don't want to talk through those leads. Let's grab this guy's upgrade to full metal jacket for 380 on round 27. And this guy is done. We're no longer going to upgrade this left sniper. We will upgrade this guy later, but for this one is on strong. First upgrade, and we're done with that. Now we would like to get the faster production and the even faster production. And I do want to make a little note to always upgrade as fast as you can. I know in some strategies I'll say like with $50,000 up, or buy this tower, then upgrade it to this. We're not going to do that for this one. As soon as you get the money, just upgrade as you go, as I tell you to upgrade, just so we don't have any problems later on. But I was saying that this is actually not going to be the fastest strategy because we're going to use some stalls, guys. If you guys use the perma spike with some stalls, we're going to have some ice impales and some boomerang throwers and some Moab shoves and some glue. We're going to use the whole works to slow down these mobs to make these perma spikes just super strong and awesome. Now with this guy upgraded to a 023, the next thing I would like to do is place an alchemist right here, or anywhere they can fit it really. And then we're going to go larger potions, acidic mixture dip, and then berserker brew. And we're going to save up 3240 for the stronger stimulant. So here we go with that stronger stimulant upgrade. And then we're going to get stronger acid. And then we're going to save up 515 for those perishing potions, because I did actually notice a difference. For a while, I was running this strategy before I made it into a video, and I was running it just a 400, and I noticed I was having troubles on certain rounds. Well, then I just added the 420, and sure enough, this acidic mixture dip stays on a lot longer, which helped a lot for the Moabs later on once we have permaspike and stuff. So actually does help to get that second upgrade, for at least for this map and this strategy. Now, as you can see, we're going to wreck through this Moab right here, and then afterwards, we're going to save up till 3780 to get those deadly spikes, and then we're going to get our next, or our first 5th tier tower. So here we go with deadly spikes. And if you haven't guessed it yet, the 5th tier that we are going to use, well, you probably didn't guess it because it's a very odd choice for this map and just in general, but we're going to go with the elite great fender. So we're going to go with all the way down to the 5th tier bottom path. And it actually is going to be like, it's not like the end all be all, but what's cool is about it is that it's going to help us with the mid game. It's going to get us to those 50s and the 60s pretty easily until we get our awesome perma spike. And just a heads up for those of you who skip ahead, we are not going to use an ability. We have to use one for sure on round 100, and then there's like a maybe chance. But let's grab this guy right at 0-2-3 sniper right now on first on the right sniper, and then this guy's still on strong. But there's like a little chance that we might have to use an ability on 64, I think it is, because 63 we make it through just fine, but without the village on 64, there's some fortified Moabs that cause a little bit of trouble, and we kind of might use an ability. So jump to there if you guys are skippers. I haven't had to use it yet. I just keep it there just in case, or actually for this run, we'll probably just use it just so we don't have any problems. We'll just smack that ability on those fortified Moabs and call it a day. So let's grab full auto rifle on round 48. And now we're just going to save up 15,120. Yeah, I still got it. 15,120 we're going to save up until we get to the elite great fender and just kind of relax until then. All right, on round 55, we're going to grab elite great fender for 15,120. I got it a little late there, but it really doesn't matter. This thing's still doing its business over here. You're just getting it all done. And now we just wait because there's really nothing we can do. So we have an ability, we have a first ability, and then we're real soon going to get her second ability, that cool one where it kind of swipes the sword across the screen. But we're not going to use those abilities. And maybe on 64, like I said, but probably not. But I'm going to jump back to 63 because that's when it can get a little scary to watch, but never had a problem yet. You're not gonna have a problem either. And then we'll come back on 64 as well. So when I was working on this strategy, I randomly went with this guy because I already had him upgraded to a 0-2-2, I believe. And then I was like, oh, you might as well just go the full distance there because it's only 15,000, well, like 25,000 if you count everything. And it actually just ended up working. Like, as you guys know, he's not the best at popping Moabs. He's terrible at popping fortifieds, obviously, look at that. But he's getting the job done. And he's also great because once we have like a full stall session later, which is actually really cool to see, we're gonna have all these towers just being pushed back, or the Moabs are gonna be pushed back to the beginning of the map. He does enough damage to pop them, but not enough damage to end the round quickly so we can keep regenerating those spikes. It's really cool. But now here we are on round 64. So what we're going to do, it's very, very simple, nothing too crazy. Once the fortifieds come out, we're gonna just hit both abilities after we pop these Moabs right here. So let's pop all these. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit our first ability and then our second ability. And the reason why, well, I guess I didn't hit my second ability and we didn't need to. That's what I was trying to tell you. You really don't need to use abilities. I was just doing it just in case in general, but I thought I hit the second ability, but I guess I didn't hit the button hard enough. So basically I just used my first ability. Once all the regular Moabs were gone, I used my first ability to attack the fortified Moab. And then I, in theory, in my head, used the second ability to kind of do some damage to all the fortifieds to help out the spikes, but then I didn't actually hit the button. And so you saw that it was more than fine. And now we just sit here and wait until we get $32,400 for the perma spike. Here we go. During round 74, we're going to have enough for perma spike and we're going to buy it right away just so we can start getting those spikes right away. So 75 and 76 do not cause us any problems because, as you know, 75 can wreck you sometimes and 76 can definitely wreck you. But as long as we have the perma spike like we do, we're going to be good to go. And if you guys are still with me, let me know below if you had to use abilities on round 74. I am curious. I have not had to use them yet. I just use them for a safety precaution. So I'd be glad to know if you guys had to or if you didn't have to. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our third 5th tier. So we already have 2 5th tiers here. We're going to remove this seaweed for $500 and we're going to take an ice tower and we're going to place it all the way to the top right. Nothing too crazy about placement. Just get it all the way up to the top right as you can, just like so, because we are going to fit 3 other towers on this little rock with him. We're going to go all the way to the bottom and then all the way to the top, just like so. And then we're going to save up $32,400 for the icicle impale. So I did what I always do and I stopped paying attention because I had to save up a lot of money and I didn't buy this in time. But as soon as you can buy the icicle impale, I think I'm, $3,000 almost, but it's really not going to matter because we don't need all of the perma spikes just yet. But later on, they're all so crucial to have. So you want to buy these upgrades as fast as you can. I'm just kind of, forget. I'm sure you guys do too. Like if you have to save up like 60 grand, do you guys just get up and go get a drink or go get some food? Because I totally do. I don't just sit there and stare at the screen. You can't do that. And then I always am mad that I did that because then I come back and I've lost so many times. Let me know below if you guys do that as well. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a glue gunner. We're going to place it right next to this guy on the left because remember, we're going to put 2 other towers next to these 2 after we have this guy placed. We're going to place him on strong and we're going to go to the bottom. So Moab glue and then bigger globs and glue splatter just like that. So 0, 2, 3, and he is done. Now, as you guys probably noticed, with just the icicle and the glue, it takes forever for these rounds to go because look how slow these OMGs and the Moabs and then the Bloons. Oh my gosh. So this is going to take a minute, but luckily we only have 13. I can't do math. 13 rounds left. So it's not that big of a deal and it won't take too much time. Next thing we're going to do here is we're going to take a boomer and we're going to place him all the way to the far right. So as far right as you can go, just like so. And we're going to place him on strong. And then we're going to go long range, red hot rings, Kylie boomerang, Moab press, improved ring and glide. So the top path is cooler because it pushes more back and just go with that one. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to place another boomerang and we're going to place him right next to his buddy right here. So this is why placing these guys is a little important, but as you see, I do have a good amount of room there. So it's not like it's going to be left down to pixel perfect. So as long as you place this guy to the top left, this guy to the top right, this guy to the far right, you are good to go. Again, place him on strong. Make sure this guy's on strong. He is. And then we're going to go long range, red hot rings, Kylie boomerang, improved rings. We're going to get glides for 300. And then we're going to get Moab press for 2375. Now here we go on round 90. I am getting the Moab press for this guy. So we have 2 Moab presses, a glue gunner, and an icicle impale. And as you just saw, those DDTs float right through our defenses. We do not care. 95, 99, 93. We do not care about the DDTs. The permaspike is going to eat them up all by himself because his acidic mixture dip stays on pretty much the entire time. So pretty much each of those spikes are ready to pop a DDT. Now, I did want to mention if you guys did mess up your placements over here on this little rock, it's not a big deal. Just place this one right here as close as you can to the left so he can, with that long range, he will be in range of the Moabs. Not the Bloons probably, but the Moabs will be okay, especially the ZOMGs if you did not place him here. But we are not placing another one. 2 is more than enough. Now we are going to buy another tower to stall. Now, if this wasn't bananas enough, for lack of better words, we're going to make it even crazier and stall it a little more. We're going to take a helicopter right here, just at the top because it fits and it's cool. We're going to lock in place up here. So I'm probably going to move it a little bit afterwards because it bugs me when all these towers are here. But for right now, let's put it right there. And as you can see, it's like a little bit, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Let's get faster darts, faster firing, and then Moab shove. And now this guy's going to shove him back. This guy's going to ice him back. This guy's gluing him. We got this guy pushing him back. It's crazy. I am actually going to turn off auto start because it's going to bug me if I don't have this guy where I want him. So I want him like right here to where his little targeting is like right there. Because then these guys are going to push him back. It's not like it's super important. It just looks cool and it is cool. And so they're going to push him back into this guy. And the ice is going to stall him, and it's really, really awesome. And then meanwhile, the DDTs just get eaten up, which is awesome. Next, I want to take a sub and place him right here, and he's going to be our first strike. We are going to end up having 2 first strikes, and if we have enough money, we're going to buy a Moab assassin. I didn't get one the first time, but I was like, oh, I have enough money. We should definitely just get something to damage it more. And if you guys were wondering why we're doing all this, why we're stalling, is because the permaspike is taking a lot of damage, right? And he's going to be our main powerhouse for the bad and round 98 and things like that. And so what we're doing is we're pushing these things back and taking as long as we can to finish each round so this guy can keep regenerating. Now, if we had a village, he'd get even more because jungle drums would make him produce the spikes faster, but it really isn't going to matter because he's super strong with this buff. So that's what we're doing here. We're just stalling to stall the rounds to give more spikes to this guy so we can just wreck everything. Now, like I said, we are going to have 2 first strikes. So I'm going to grab another one and just place it right here. It really doesn't matter where. I just figured he can get a little bit more damage. He's already up to 5,000, so he is helping, which is really cool. So we'll get barbed darts, heat tip darts, ballistic missile, and then we'll just save up for 14,000. Meanwhile, he is going to get some damage and help us out a little bit. So 97 has been taking forever, but this little bouquet of spikes is looking beautiful, and we are going to wreck 98. I'm kind of curious to see if these guys, I didn't really pay attention my first time through. I feel like how great they held back 97. Like they're going to hold back a lot of towers or a lot of Bloons on 98 to make it super easy. Because usually 98's pretty wreckable, right? Like you can easily lose an entire game very quickly on 98 if you're not prepared for it. But these guys are like a little A team right here, just holding everything back. And all we have are some ceramics getting through and then this guy eats them up. It's really cool. During round 98, I am going to grab a first strike ability. So now we have 2 of these guys right here. I think this guy has actually taken 50,000 damage. So he still did do a lot of damage on 98, even though these guys are doing a great job of holding him back and everything and stalling this round out. And let's see if they're going to stall out any longer. Probably not too much because they're just fortified Moabs. Not like it's a crazy ZOMG or anything. So we don't have enough to regain too many, but we're going to be just fine. Now, during this round, since we have everything that we're going to need and that I used to beat this, I'm just going to put this guy here and see if we end up getting enough for a Moab Assassin. I don't imagine us not. Yeah, we're going to have more than enough money to get that guy. And all he's going to do is just add a little bit more damage to it. Now, I told you guys, round 100 is going to be easy. And all we can do, all we're going to do is we're going to hit a first strike. We're going to hit another first strike. And then we're going to hit a Moab Assassin. And then why not? Let's hit the second one too. And let's hit the first one too. Just like the first one too. There we go. We just hit all 4 of our abilities, and now for sure this thing is going down. And if it doesn't, we have that big pile of perma spikes at the end, and they're gonna stomp this thing up. Let's see what can happen here. And we're watching. There goes the DDTs. Here comes the ZOMGs. You have an assassin if you want to use it. You have our first ability, but as you see, we had a bajillion spikes left, and we got a 002 boat, which is appropriate since we're on a water map. Pretty awesome stuff. So that is it, guys. That is Black Border Peninsula Chimps. Super easy. Let me know below how you guys did and if you had any troubles. I don't think you should have. I ran through this a few dozen times to make sure everything was good and it made it super easy. I like to end these things with like a lot more money, but 3,500 is still cool, I guess. I was just hoping to be like Peninsula Chimps with 100,000 left over or something crazy like that, but you can't win them all, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time.